Come on in a little closer. We've got some root news for ya. Oh my gosh, I am so excited, y'all. It's been a little bit since we've had some kind of new root news. Well, great news coming. We are getting the Hirelings and Landmarks expansion coming to Root Digital. Now, here's the thing. We don't actually have a date. This video right here is just making sure that you know that it is coming. We're going to talk about what they've announced so far, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about Hirelings and Landmarks because they've actually been in the physical game for quite some time, so we can talk a little bit about that there. But let's jump right in to the kind of news feed that Direwolf has shared. So Root, Hirelings and Landmarks. Critters of the woodland gather round. Hirelings and Landmarks is coming soon to Root Digital. Let's see how they describe these, because and then I'll add anything that might need to be added, just in case you don't know what these things are. It says Hirelings bring a whole new layer of cunning alliances and shifting loyalties to your digital battles. These opportunistic critters, feisty forest patrols, ruckus rabbit scouts, and conniving corvid spies, and more join the fray as hireable allies. Additionally, landmarks make their way to Root Digital, adding new points of interest in the woodland. Hired help. So this is sick because they actually show the stag hireling right here, which is very cool. It's looking really good. If you also notice here, I think this is the activation timing window for the ability. And then here they're showing the 3 hirelings and how much time it is with the specific faction, it looks like, which is nice. This looks pretty clean. Good amount of information in there. In any game where hirelings are included, exactly 3 of them will join your game. They can be added to games of any player count in either promoted or demoted form. Promoted hirelings, these are hirelings that act as minor factions who can temporarily be swayed to your side, each with their own map presence and unique abilities. This has a real impact on the feel of 2-player games, with hirelings filling out the woodland with the familiar flavors of your favorite factions. The fewer players you have, the more promoted hirelings will join you. And then there are demoted hirelings, which is just the opposite side to these hirelings here. For each player you add beyond the second, one of the 3 included hirelings will join the game in their demoted form. Demoted hirelings have less presence on the map, if any at all, and instead typically grant a special passive ability to the player that controls them. Hirelings pass their services from player to player throughout the game, bringing a whole new layer of dynamic strategy to your games of Root Digital. So they're showing a picture of basically a player choosing the hireling to take. So kind of the way that it works is these hirelings are at different points of the scoring. So there'll be a hireling at the 4 victory point, the 8 victory point, and the 12 victory point count. The first faction to hit those thresholds will then be able to take a hireling. They will roll a hireling dice, getting them that hireling for a certain amount of time based on that dice roll. If you're in the lead, then you're only going to be counting the red dice, the gold dice, the gold pips. And if you are in a player count that's not in first, you're going to be getting all the pips on the card. So when you're in first, you will more than likely not actually keep onto the hirelings as long, but you are going to be the first to actually get them and engage with them, which is kind of interesting. So this is going to come with 13 hirelings. So that is all of the hirelings that currently exist, which is fantastic. So it's not going to be any of the new ones from Homeland, obviously. Those ones are just not out yet. But yeah, 13 hirelings. That's awesome. So that's all the hirelings. Each with a promoted and demoted variant are joining the fray. The 10 factions in Root Digital each have an associated hireling. I wish I just kept reading. Along with 3 neutral hirelings, a faction cannot be represented by both a hireling and a player in the same game. So if a player chooses, say, the Lord of the Hundreds as their faction, it means the corresponding hireling, the Flamebearers, will be absent from the game. This ensures plenty of variety in the woodland with every match you play. Okay, so that is all the hirelings. Landmarks, the wonders of the woodland. So the other thing that comes with this is the landmarks. We've got a picture of the elder treetop right here. It will say the elder treetop adds a building slot to its clearing. Whenever a player removes an enemy building from the elder treetop slot, they score an extra point, 2 in total, not 1. So this basically just adds an extra clearing spot onto the map. Landmarks also come to Root Digital in this expansion, bringing new locations to the board, each with unique effects that shake up gameplay with strategic challenges and tactical possibilities. Best of all, they work with each of Root's maps. Barter for anything you need at the black market, benefit from the unity of fox, mouse, and rabbit kind in the fabled Lost City, craft a masterwork at the legendary forge, sit proud upon the grand throne in the elder treetop, expand your reign by securing control of the mighty tower, travel swiftly across the woodland by boarding the ferry. The best way to describe this, if you have no clue what these landmarks are, is that if you've ever played on the mountain map and you know that there's the tower that scores you that extra point, or you play on the lake map and you've used that ferry to get those extra cards during your turn, well, those are now basically considered landmarks that can be used on any map. So you could have the ferry actually on the autumn map, or you could have the tower on the winter map. But they also add other ones, 4 other ones actually. So the black market has 3 cards set aside from the deck, and when you're in a clearing with the black market, you can take a card, you can look at it, and you can swap one from your hand. Very, very interesting. And then the Lost City, probably the best one, the most interesting one for sure, is it is a piece, a landmark that actually counts as every suit. So if it's in a clearing, it simultaneously counts for all of the suits in the game, which is really, really cool. For example, if the Corvids play a fox card, they'll drop one in the Lost City. If they play a rabbit card, they'll also drop a recruit in the Lost City. So there's a lot of cool possibilities in there. Craft a masterwork at the legendary forge, a way to earn extra points with when you're crafting certain types of items. And then the elder treetop, which adds that extra build slot. Hirelings and Landmarks is coming soon to Root Digital. Ready to hire some help and claim your throne? The Hirelings and Landmarks expansion is coming soon, again, to Root Digital. Be sure to wish list it today on Steam. We'll be taking a look at the contents of this expansion and introducing you to many of the Hirelings coming your way in upcoming preview articles. Stay updated by joining the Direwolf Discord, and you can also follow us on Blue Sky and Facebook. So that is everything that they're giving us. So this is incredible news, mostly because I think that 3 players with Hirelings is an amazing player count. And one thing that I've always wondered, because I think one of the things that I personally, this has just been my kind of theory about this whole thing. Hirelings are awesome, but they do add a lot of game time. And since Digital cuts a lot of Root's game time down, I've always thought and always have said that Hirelings are the perfect expansion for Root Digital as a platform. Because I even think that this could be interesting at 4 players, where you have all the demoted Hirelings. I think that with the game being a little faster, this could just add more kind of things to tickle people's brains. And I think that's really, really interesting. So I'm excited to see how it differs from what kind of live tables of experience with landmarks and all of the kind of TTS tournament scenes and everything. We haven't really seen something like this happen. This is the first time they're coming to digital. So this is going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be a very different vibe from like what they feel like in live games, from what they feel like on TTS. Because they're going to be doing all that upkeep manually, I think it's going to encourage people to try them out. I'm definitely going to. I would love to have more kind of 3-player games with Hirelings. It's a very, very good player count. Even 2-player games with Hirelings are very fun. If you are interested in watching a 2-player playthrough with the Hirelings, I will go ahead and link that video down below. Me and my wife played one, so you can check that out. Guys, this is really exciting news. Obviously, I'm going to be keeping you guys updated on anything that is new, anything that you are interested in. If you have any questions about Hirelings or landmarks, you can drop them down below and I will be sure to answer you there. But I want to take a quick moment to invite you to our Discord. If you're interested in learning about this information first, if you're interested in knowing when I upload new videos and YouTube hasn't been feeding you those, if you join the Discord, you can kind of check out all the different roles, all the things that you want to be notified on. We've started just under 800 games of Root over there. We are really a cool community. I'm very proud of what's going on over there. If you want to support the channel more, we actually have YouTube memberships. In the pinned comment down below, I'll have a link to that if you're interested in seeing some of the benefits that memberships provide. And yeah, any of that support, greatly appreciated. I want to thank Pal here. He is actually the first Lord, so this is very cool. Thank you so much, Lord Pal, for being a supporter of the channel. All of that is going to be going towards getting a second camera, which we are trying to do more live playthroughs with. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Let's go ahead and drop the beat.